Okay, so I made two breakouts for you. I did it in oil because I don't have many like recent recordings and I don't have a replayer, so I had to find something that I was recording recently. And I stopped recording because it was slowing down my computer and whatnot, and that's one of the reasons why I got a new one. So yeah, so I got two breakouts pretty much, one that didn't work and one that did work, and I'll show you the things that I'm looking at. Okay, so here's the one that didn't work. So you have a level here. So basically it's pretty self-explanatory. So there's a level here, and then this is the failed the failed break, and you'll see why it fails. It's actually pretty obvious. So yeah, wait. Okay, so this is the oil ladder. Um, So I think the level is around 40. It's a little bit different because of the back adjusted. So it's I don't know shit. The level is 50. Ah, for God's sakes. Okay. We need to rewind it a bit. Okay, so yeah, the level is 50. So it comes down to it. Tests it. Buyers engage. Sellers keep selling it on. At this point, it's not something that I would get involved with. Um, you see this 140 lot on the offer. I think that that should be a very good indicator later on. If this doesn't go, like that's probably like over under above where sellers gonna puke. Um, so you see people trying to front run it, buyers trying to take it, and then sellers trying to front run it. But eventually it's not gonna get traded. So what you're looking for is a change in personalities. Like in order to break a level, you need to see a shift in market personalities. Like you see here, it's like sellers front run it and then buyers pick it up. But this is a distinct change. Like you see sellers come down to the low, and then you see big piles, big lots coming in, but still buyers are holding. And now it's coming again. It's gonna probably come again. It's gonna test those lows again. But you see the bounce from the buyers. It's not all the way up to 120, so it's like lower and lower. And now I would be getting in. Like so you see the sellers just press, and then it goes, and then it goes like 10 points lower, and so this is fine. And now here you have a decision point. So the first buyers come in, sellers keep pressing, but they can't get through the 40s. So somebody's absolutely like absorbing. And if you can't get through here, now you start to get worried. Say, because like the sellers just keep pressing and then just can't get through it. Somebody just absorbing everything, and then just so the and this is one of the other things. So the that 60s 150 lot gets pulled, and I would be like very fucking worried about here, right about here. Like I would be very worried like downstairs, but like down at 40s, 42s. But like this is like literally the last ditch attempt of the sellers. It's like they can't even get it below 50 because the 50 was the original level. So if they can't break 50, yeah, like I would be fucking getting out if this goes like past like 55, 56. Because you see just the sellers just gave up. Like there's no more power in the selling. There's no more. Nobody's pushing it. Nobody's pushing it. And then yeah, this is when you're like out completely. Like fuck this. This isn't gonna work. Like so you see like this thing change when the sellers step on it, and then you see the absorption of the lows, and then you see how they basically their efforts are weaker and weaker and weaker, and then they just give up, and then buyers just you know take it higher, and this just goes the other way. So yeah, so basically what you're looking for in like phase one before you get in, like you want to see it get to the level, you want to see how it trades, and then you want to see a shift in personality. You want to see those bounces getting lower. It's like it comes down to the level, and then buyers bounce it up, sellers bounce it down, buyers bounce it up, sellers bounce it down, and you want to see those like like those buyers getting, lower and lower bounces, you kind of like, you can imagine like a gorilla squatting, like somebody just like pressing it down, pressing it down, pressing it lower and lower and lower, and then you see that kind of like they're pressing it, they're getting it lower and lower, and then you see that final, push from the sellers. And then that's when you want to get in. Like when you see that push from the sellers, when you see that, you know, aggressive behavior, like that's like, okay, we're gonna break you now. Like we're gonna fucking break you. Like they kind of like slammed it down, like pressed on it, and then they kind of like kicked it up a notch. It's just like one, kind of like one gear, one extra gear, and then it goes. But that final like push is where you should be getting it. Like that push is like where you should be, going with it. And yeah, and then you have a decision point afterwards when it breaks. You will see like a first like flurry that goes like, okay, like couple of ticks, the first stops, and that those, the first, buyers that just give up, like the how would you call it, like the weakest believers. And then you have a decision point, and then it's like, okay, do we have more sellers? Like, do we press on? Do we continue with this, or do we just stop? The problem with like oil recently, it's been a little bit different. A little bit different because it has been bouncing back and pulling back a little bit. It's like, I think like those like very very clean breakouts are a little bit rarer nowadays. But yeah, anyways, so let's get to the second one. And so the second one is, so you see the level, um, and yeah, it's just pretty clean in how it goes. So this is a cash level, and it gets broken like just before the close, like I think 6:15, something like that. Um, so I haven't been on my computer, but I left running, so you'll see a team viewer left there, unfortunately. But yeah, so basically your level is at 69s. You see the little bulge, and you see that little spike above that came a couple of hours earlier. I think you saw it on the chart and spiked a little bit through it, but effectively the level is 0.1. So you see the buyers kind of like slap into it, and you still see liquidity on the offer. And that needs to get either pulled or taken. But there's a seller here. There's somebody's defending. So you see buyers. You'll see buyers now. They just start pressing higher, and yeah, let's give it a second. Okay, you see sellers trying to defend the area, a little bit of aggressive selling, and then buyers gonna pick it up, and then you'll see a smaller bounce lower, and it's pretty much gonna be similar. But yeah, but like at this point, you're still assessing how it trades. Like you're still waiting for it. This is not something to get involved. I mean, if it's a big level, it's not gonna go through it like butter, like on the first touch. Like, I mean, not the, yeah, but like it's gonna come there, and it's gonna test it, and they're gonna defend it, and see now like that liquidity got taken, but you're still pausing, and now you're trying to see what the sellers are gonna do, and basically this is nothing. So you could think about like getting in now, because sellers haven't even like moved it, so they haven't even sold it down. A little bit of selling, but I would be happy to get in now. Like you see this buying, sellers like trying to sell, they move it like 1 2 ticks, like here, like I would be happy, like this is where I'm smacking it in. So there's no resistance from the selling. All you need to, now you're just preempting like the last push. See, it comes, you can't go with it, but like, let me just pause it for a second. So in this one, like you can't go with the push, but you see there's no more bounce in the sellers. They're just like, they you see like they have given up. Like the liquidity was taken, it wasn't posted again. They didn't bounce it. Like they bounced it 1 2 ticks, and then the buyers absorb it and then they just stop. So like sellers are basically they've they've given up. Imagine this like as like a trench. Russians have left the trench. It's just a matter of time when the Ukrainians are gonna probe the trench to see if the defense, and then when they see there's nobody in the trench, they just kind of fucking pile and you know go into the trench and just break the level. So yeah, you have this like a little small window where you see that the buyers have completely like stepped aside and there's no one left there, and yeah, and then you can just go with that, and then you just like wait for it to give it another push, and then it's just gonna break. It's gonna go now, and you have that 100 lot, but that's gonna get taken, and so this is your I would say like this is your step two here. Like now you're gonna see like how it behaves. That's the one that I told you like okay this has still stepped off, and then there's like another barrier above it, and that's like kind of your decision point when you're already in the trade. It's like, how does this look? Is this gonna go, or am I feeling like uneasy about this? So far, so good because it's acting exactly the same. Sellers they just don't push back. Like it's just a matter of time when buyers stake it because you have no pushback from the sellers, like literally none. Say like 20, 30 lots, and then it's immediately picked up, and then it just goes. So this is very, very good. Like this gives you like no, this puts you under no doubts or no pressure whatsoever. Like even here, like 50 lots and taken. Like another one moves it like 3, 4 ticks. Boom, straight back. You're very happy here. See, tribes. They don't do anything, and then it's just like it goes. Uh, but yeah. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight. If you have any more like questions or anything, yeah, shoot me.